Welcome to Glen Arbor, where every visit feels like coming home. Everybody, TJ Shimmick here, and we are at our next stop in our Leelanau County Adventure Series. You know, what makes Leelanau County special is every town has its own unique charm, and today we're in Glen Arbor, a place that truly feels like coming home. Tucked in the heart of Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore and nestled along the scenic M22, Glen Arbor is surrounded by some of the most stunning natural beauty in the entire county. From its vibrant downtown to the peaceful shores of Big and Little Glen Lakes, this town is packed with history, adventure, and unforgettable views. On today's adventure, we'll paddle through crystal clear waters, explore local shops and eateries, and take in the incredible sights that make Glen Arbor a year-round destination. Whether you're drawn by the dunes, the river, or just a quiet moment in nature, there's something here for everyone. So let's dive in and discover what makes Glen Arbor such a treasured part of Leelanau County. Right as you come into Glen Arbor on M22 from the east side, you run into the Crystal River Outfitters Recreational District. As you can see, there's 4 key businesses that make up the district here. All have a different take on Glen Arbor, so go check them out. So the mouth of the Crystal River is where if you rent kayaks from Crystal River Outfitters or bring your own, this is where you launch from. There's a few portages along the way. The Crystal River is fed by Big Fisher, Little Fisher, but mainly Little Glen and Big Glen Lake that all hook into the Crystal River, and then it twists and turns and flows all the way out to Lake Michigan. The Crystal River is a shallow water depth, rarely more than 1 feet. There are a few holes along the way where you can jump out of your kayak or canoe and do some swimming. It's a nice sandy bottom, ideal for families and beginning canoeists and kayakers and even tubers. Surrounded by wetlands, provide valuable habitat. The warm waters are full of bass, sunfish, pike, while deer and rabbits and muskrat, heron and beaver and fox and coyote can be spotted along the riverbanks. Gotta rent a bike while you're here. Think this one will fit me? After you get your M22 gear, make sure and stop outside and do some wine tasting. They got all kinds of beverages and stuff for the kids as well. I love Glen Arbor. How about you? This is Cherry Public in downtown Glen Arbor. Nothing more famous than this or Arts Tavern. You got the public house right behind you. Get your lunch, get any drinks you want. They have awesome beers on tap. But follow me this way. This is what Cherry Public's most known for. Unlimited free samples of anything you want. Of course, it has to have cherry in the name. So let's go check it out. The Arts Tavern right here in the heart of Glen Arbor. Remember, cash or check only. They have awesome jalapeno chicken soup on Wednesdays, breakfast, great burgers. You gotta check out this spot when you're in Glen Arbor. Digging into a funky grilled cheese. You can't miss the neon sign out front whenever you come through town, so make sure you check out Arts Tavern when you're in town. One cool thing about my office here in Glen Arbor is we're right on Boondocks deck, so after a long day, come on, check this out. We got the sweet shop right outside the door. Then we can go up to the bar, see Zach, and get a beverage. Every night in the summer, come to Boondocks Deck, live music right in front of you, enjoy some great food. Gotta check out the River Club while you're here. 18-hole mini golf course, bar, great Mexican food. Now that's a hole in one. Thank you very much. If you're in the mood for some shopping when you come to Glen Arbor, don't worry, we have you covered. From Cottonseed Apparel to Bayware, the Totem Shop, Petoskey Pete's, Momentum, the Cottage Bookshop, Great Lakes Tea and Spice, there are numerous art galleries and gift shops and numerous other unique shops and galleries. If you're looking for a good book to read on the boat or at the beach, in Glen Arbor here, the Cottage Bookshop has all the local books. It also has all of your nationwide bestseller books. So stop here if you forgot that book when you came to town. So I've worked most of my life in Glen Arbor, from Crystal River Outfitters to Boondocks bartending. Now my real estate office is on Boondocks Deck. But for some reason, the Totem Shop just holds a special place in my heart. I remember it as a kid. Let's go see if that toy center, the toy corner in here, is still open, because there was so much cool stuff when I was here. Our candy. And I remember buying a cap gun here when I was a kid, but there's so many cool toys in here. Koosh. Remember the Koosh? Anderson's Market in Glen Arbor has everything you need when it comes to fresh deli, fresh vegetables, all the good stuff that you need for your picnics. And while you're in Glen Arbor, stop in. They have an awesome wine selection, liquor selection, again, fresh cut meats, anything you need for your house and for your barbecues. Let's go to the beach. There's several other options when you come to Glen Arbor for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You got Western Avenue Grill, Leelanau Coffee Roasters. Every year in May, Glen Arbor has a restaurant week. This last year, my wife and I went to Blue for our first time ever. I have to say it was one of the best meals we've ever had here in northern Michigan. So if you're looking for some fine dining experience, this is a place to stop. If you're headed down to Blue one night for dinner, make sure to stop in at Glen Arbor Wines for a really nice, tasty glass of wine. Leelanau County, as we know, is known for its wineries in Glen Arbor. Make sure you stop at Glen Arbor Wines. It's on Lake Street as you head down towards Blue and towards LeBaire. So make sure you stop in, check out all the wines. They're made locally here in the area. Cheers.
Cheers.
Stop in on the deck here at La Casa in the summertime from 3 to 5 for happy hour. Enjoy a cocktail and some great French cuisine. Trattoria Funestrada, this is where my wife and I had our first up north Michigan date. Their prosciutto wrapped asparagus is amazing. I love the veal saltimbocca, and my wife likes the chicken saltimbocca, but there's so much to check out here. Great wine. Come check it out for yourself. One of my wife and my favorite spot here in Glen Arbor, Good Harbor Grill. Everything is made fresh from scratch. You can't go wrong at this stop. You got two pizza options when you come into Glen Arbor. Number one, you got a deep dish style pizza here at Millie's. It's really good. Number two would be Bear Paw Pizza and Market, your more traditional style pizza. Pine cone, ice cream, hot dogs. Remember, cash only. And then come on down here, right next door is Glen Arbor Bakery. The mill is located just north of Glen Arbor, right on the Crystal River. It's a contemporary take on a renovated, old, iconic building mill that used to be here. Take a look inside. There's a cafe to enjoy coffee and baked goods, and they offer a supper, which is a family-style dining experience on the river, and it features seasonal and regional sourced fare. There's different lodging options here, and they definitely recommend reservations for the supper and the lodging. You gotta try these sandwiches and pastries. Just north of Glen Arbor is the famous Homestead Resort, known for its shops, its eateries, condos of all shapes and sizes, beautiful beach club, multiple pools. You got to check it out when you're here in Glen Arbor. A lot of people flock to the Homestead in the summer. It's just north of Glen Arbor. It's a premier lakeside resort featuring a variety of lodging options and luxurious amenities. It has a mile-long Lake Michigan beach, and Money Magazine recently picked this beach as #1 of the 8 best beaches to visit. It has spa and salon services, golf course, tennis, pools, restaurants, meeting rooms, you name it, it's probably at the Homestead. In the winter, the ski slopes are open on the weekends. You can snowshoe and skate in the winter. So down at the end of Lake Street, you'll find the public launch for Lake Michigan, also LeBaire Resort, which is fractional ownership, just one of the most nicest, beautiful resorts here in Glen Arbor. Northwoods Hardware is your one-stop shop for anything you need for your house. They got fire pits. I get my printer paper here for my computer. We have an outdoor garden center. Literally anything you need for your outdoor, indoor of your house, this is the place to come in Glen Arbor. There are many annual events that take place in Glen Arbor. The farm market is at the Glen Arbor Town Hall on Tuesday mornings from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock in June through September. The 4th of July parade is a not to miss event with candy for all the kiddos. Glen Arbor Art Fair is the 3rd Wednesday in July. The Running Bear 5K in July. The Port Oneida Half Marathon, 10K and 5K run in August. The Sleeping Bear Marathon and Half Marathon and 5K in October. Checking out Glen Haven, this historic village just west of Glen Arbor. Glen Haven has lots of history. Beginning in 1857, it was called Sleeping Bearville. It was a big lumbering area, lumber mills on Little Glen, and then they hauled by wagon or sled here to ship them out. D.H. Day came to Glen Haven in 1878 to run the town, and by 1881, Glen Haven had Sleeping Bear Inn, general store, blacksmith, wagon shop, and school.
By the 1920s, established Glen Haven Canning Company. They processed fruit from his orchards with over 5,000 cherry and apple trees, and then closed in 1931. And then in 1935, started the Sleeping Bear Dunes Mobile Rides. Glen Haven was purchased by the National Park Service in the mid-1970s. The Sleeping Bear Inn, built between 1865 and 1867, was recently remodeled, and it reopened in 2024 with 8 guest rooms and breakfast daily. Contact the inn to make reservations. And finally, DH Day Campground is your wooded, rustic camping spot just 2 miles down from Glen Arbor. Population of just 271 year-round residents according to niche.com. During the summer, visitors and seasonal residents come from all over the world, bringing the population into the thousands. The shops and eateries fill with activity while others climb the sand dunes, head out on the lakes, or take adventures on the bike trails in Crystal River. Come winter, locals enjoy the peacefulness and beauty of the quiet winter season with less hustle and bustle. But no matter the season, this town is perfect for a weekend getaway or a lifelong adventure. Big and Little Glen Lakes are located in a spectacular setting of wooded rolling sandhills just east of the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore, considered by many to be one of the most beautiful lakes in the world. The lakes empty into Lake Michigan via the shallow Crystal River, which winds through Glen Arbor. The waters are filtered by the underlying and surrounding sands, which make it remarkably clear and pure and glow with the iridescent indigo blue. Separated by the Narrows M22 bridge, perfect for boating, fishing, or simply relaxing on the shore. Come winter, there's ice fishing all around Little Glen Lake. Big Glen Lake lies east of the Narrows. It's a 4,871 acre lake and about 130 feet deep at its deepest. Little Glen Lake lies on the west side. It's 1,415 acres and only about 13 feet deep. Its beauty, purity, and lack of large waves makes it a popular lake for vacationers. The new Glen Arbor Playground is located right in the heart of Glen Arbor over by Cherry Republic. There's basketball court, pickleball courts, tennis courts, outdoor workout equipment, walking paths, and sidewalks. If you're venturing from Glen Arbor down to Empire, make sure to stop at the Pierce Stocking Drive. It's a 7.4 mile loop with beautiful views of Lake Michigan, the Glen Lakes, and the dunes. There are 12 total stops along the way, so take your leisurely time and go at your own pace, or just enjoy it from the windows of your vehicle. The Sleeping Bear Dunes National Park in Lakeshore is made up of 72,000 acres. The National Park created it in 1971 to assure future generations could enjoy and experience the beauty of this area. If you want a really good workout with a 280-foot climb to the top, check out the dunes, and the reward is breathtaking with views of the countryside. If you're feeling adventurous, there's Dune Hiking Trail. That's about 3.5 miles round trip. You can hike across the dunes to Lake Michigan. It usually takes about 2 to 4 hours. The Sleeping Bear Heritage Trail is only trail in Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. It's about 20 miles long between Empire and Bohemian Road. Mostly paved with short, unpaved section near Port Oneida Rural Historic District. Walk, run, bike, ski, and it is handicap accessible. As far as schools near and around Glen Arbor, there's Glen Lake Community School is a pre-K through 12th grade school with all grade levels housed under one roof. Enrollment averages around 700 students, and the student-to-teacher ratio is 12 to 1. Niche.com states that Glen Lake is an above-average public school with an overall grade of B, which takes into account things like academics, teachers, clubs, diversity, college prep, etc. There's also Leelanau School, which is a private boarding school. There's 41 students in grades 9 through 12, a 3 to 1 student-teacher ratio, and an A rating according to niche.com. The climate in Glen Arbor, you can expect 4 seasons of enjoyment. Moderate temps affected by Lake Michigan, upper teens to low 20s in the winter, average 70s in the summer. Humidity remains comfortable most of the year with precipitation of rain around 34 inches a year and snow about 120 inches a year. Housing, the local MLS from 2023 average price for a single family home in Glen Arbor stands around $694,000. Higher number, but this area includes waterfront properties on Big Glen and Little Glen, so please take that into account. The cost of living above the national average of 5.9% according to bestplaces.net and 15.7% higher than other places in Michigan. To wrap it all up, Glen Arbor is a charming town nestled within the stunning landscapes of Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore, holds a special place in the hearts of so many. There's truly something for everyone, no matter the time of year, and it's easy to see why everyone visits here and feels like home. If you think about your next adventure, remember that Glen Arbor is not just a destination, it's a feeling, a memory, and a reminder of the simple joys of life surrounded by nature's finest offerings. Until next time, keep dreaming, exploring, and making memories in the heart of Leelanau County. Heading south out of Glen Arbor, across the Narrows. The Narrows splits Little Glen Lake to the right and Big Glen Lake to the left. Obviously you can see this is a famous sandbar. Kids are illegally jumping off the bridge and hope they don't get in trouble.